All right, all right. We'll go ahead and get started. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Oh, well.
I lost my screen there. 1 second. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I don't know what's going on, but there we go.
It's not letting you share it again. Okay.
Uh, can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Trying to catch the elevator music, but all right. So we'll go ahead and get started tonight. We'll start off by testimonies like we usually do. So, anything between now, I know there's a lot going on between now and last Thursday, which is our last session. If anybody wants to share any testimonies, any roadblocks, anything you've experienced, the floor is open.
Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? It's Omar.
Oh, what's up,
I
Armand?
had a few people cancel out. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, we got you.
Yeah, I had a few cancellations. I had a few cancellations because of everything that's going on, but I was able to book future cruises for my clients that had some going, leaving in May and a couple leaving in June. So it just had to push their cruises to a future date. But other than that, everything's good. Just trying to learn and get more knowledge and how to market myself and get more things out there so I can pull in more clients.
Good stuff,
Definitely,
man.
definitely. Yeah, it's good that you were able to save them and push the date out because, especially with cruises, a lot of people now, you know, even if this thing cleared up next week, you have a lot of people that are skeptical of getting on cruise ships just because of what's been in the media. But definitely, that's good that you're able to save those and push them out. And we're going to talk actually tonight about marketing, different ways of market, and especially during this time. Go ahead, Jamal.
Yeah, I had one of my clients. She's going to Paris in October, but we're not going to cancel the booking. We want to wait to see if they'll offer they're going to offer that that future
Future
voucher,
travel.
that voucher, because if you cancel it right now, you lose everything on the booking. But she has travel insurance. Um, she also, when she talked to me, she wanted to book Disney for July, but I don't know if Disney gonna be open in July. Nobody really knows. They don't
Right.
know at Disney. But she also made a post today say she can't wait to get on a all inclusive. And guess who got on that post and said we will see the world again? And her response is, "I will call you tomorrow." So and Delta sent out a correspondence about bookings being able to push back for later travel dates that may travel later in the fall. And I just had 5 rooms that I canceled. If I would have got that email maybe a little later, I'm pretty sure I could have convinced my clients to keep their booking, put it on a future travel date, and also be able to keep their travel insurance without having to cancel and lose at 144. But they was gung ho and cancel. And another problem I'm having, Carnival has not paid the commission on my group. And I called them today, and they said that they're backed up with since they got all these cancellations, so they don't know when they're gonna get the commission out. And this group sailed in February, end of February.
Yeah, I'm dealing with a similar situation. Yeah, kind of tough. Delayed refunds and delayed, with everything that's going on.
Yeah, everything delayed, man. One client even asked me, "It didn't take long to take my money," and I said, "Well, they didn't have 100,000 cancellations neither."
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this is Keisha. I'm or I Travelista. We
Hey, Keisha.
My dilemma with Carnival right now is they canceled at the time. They canceled up to June 26th. My group sells June 29th. They don't have no money now, and the due date was the 15th of this month.
Oh,
And
was that a
they
group?
not. Yeah, it's a group, and they are not, because it don't fall up under the COVID. They are not working with them or anything. And I had over 30 people. And then with everything being backed up, with they'll lose their deposits.
Right.
Whatever else they pay, they're not going to get back instantly. So that's been my dilemma, my back and forth, and people thinking it's me. I'm like, I don't. Either way, I'm fighting for you, but I can only do what the vendor says, and they're not trying to budge because you don't fall up under this. Even though human nature, common sense is you are falling under this because you can't work, and I can't either. I can't pay my deposit because I haven't got paid for my groups before this. So I understand, but it's just Carnival. I'm like, oof.
Right. And that
Crazy.
is not even just Carnival with the refunds and everything. And I was just telling Jamal about a situation where Jamaica closed their borders, and my clients are supposed to travel during that time, but the airline hasn't canceled their flight yet. So if we cancel now, there's a $200 cancellation fee per person. So, and we're at the final payment date. So kind of a sticky situation. We have to wait until the airline cancels the flight before we cancel it in order to get a full refund. So, yeah, some
learning times.
Yeah, some unusual circumstances that we're facing now. But hopefully that situation will work out, because we know there's a good chance they may extend it out past June 26th, of course. So, anybody else? No one? We still got a few more minutes.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Yes. Oh, Tasha.
Yep, it's me. So I had a couple that was scheduled to travel to Las Vegas this month, and I think I had shared with you all before that they had canceled. But when they canceled, it was like right before the announcement that VAX, was it VAX? Anyway, the announcement that came out that said that, refunds were not going to be dispersed for another 90 days. But unfortunately, it's been a little less than, well, no, just maybe a little bit more than 30 days. But they did receive the refund yesterday. And the reason I knew was because I had, because they paid my service fee. And my rule is, if you book with me, you'll get the service fee back on the back end. So I had paid a portion of their trip with the service fee. And so I got that refund back to my card. So I noticed it. So I reached out to her to let her know to be on the lookout for it. And so this morning she sent me a text message and said that they had received it as well. So I know it's a little frustrating with everything that's going on, but kind of be patient, y'all.
That's true. We know it'll bounce back once everything, just got to get through this storm. Anybody else? All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. So a couple of weeks ago, we kind of touched on email marketing and kind of looked at a third-party platform to help kind of manage your subscriber list and things like that. Didn't dive too deep in it, but we kind of want to take a step back and kind of discuss, why email marketing is important and why it's such a powerful way to market, engage, and just steadily building that relationship between your clients and your potential clients and your followers in many cases. So you all can't see my screen here, right?
Yeah, we can see it.
All right. So what you want to ask yourself is pretty much, and this is a general question, what is the goal of marketing? And overall, when we market our services or market our brand, actually, what we want to do, and we've talked about this before as well, with attraction marketing, we want to attract more customers. So when you think about attracting more customers and you think about marketing and advertising, a lot of businesses make huge amount of investments when you think about advertising, marketing, and the overall goal is, like we said, conversion, get that person to quote unquote walk through the doors for the first time. But we have to ask ourselves what really happens after that. If they walk through the door and never return, is that really a waste as far as our investment, whether it's time, if we're using free platforms like social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, platforms like that, or if we're actually spending money on Facebook ads, print ads, any kind of media marketing, or anything that we're actually making a financial investment into. So we don't want to waste those dollars. The main goal is to create referrals and a system to where we really want to retain our client base and really have it grow. So one of the things, and this is something that I have to kind of remind myself constantly, is not to really focus on the actual traffic, but if you actually grow a subscriber list, an email list, in turn, that's going to actually generate traffic for you. It's going to generate views. If you have a website or a blog site, it's going to generate traffic to your website, and that's different ways that you can actually monetize off that, aside from, converting people over to clients, and we'll talk about that in the coming weeks as well. But you really want to grow that subscriber list. And when you think about email and why we want to grow that list, it really represents our hardcore followers, our loyal clients, and these are the ones that are going to refer our business to other people. A majority of your business is going to come from referral. We're coming from other people's experiences, and they're actually sharing that with their network, and that's how your business can actually grow tremendously, or exponentially, actually. So this means you don't have to do it on your own. You're actually leveraging the networks of these people, and like I said, that's the basic, difference between addition and multiplication and the rate of growth that you're actually going to see. So I'm going to go over some reasons why we want to actually, really focus more on email marketing and building that subscriber list. And really with email, you can kind of, you especially if you have a target market or a niche that you focus on when you think about travel. Now with this email list, you kind of know who your subscribers are. You kind of know who you're actually interacting with and who you're steady building that relationship with. And it moves that conversation from impersonal to a personal environment, which is their inbox. A lot of people, how many of us get spam mail on a daily basis? So, we kind of protect our email address because we rely on it for communication, and we don't want a lot of junk mail or spam mail filling up our folders. So for someone to actually opt in and give you their email address so that you can steadily communicate and keep in contact with them, that says a lot, and that's kind of a trust factor there. So it also provides more control with your email list and the management program, and we're going to discuss some of those programs. Like I said, you can kind of, you can back up your subscriber list on a daily basis. You don't have to worry about storing it in other places. It's readily accessible, and you can manage that list. You can break it up into different segments based on, the type of travel, gender, age, different demographics that'll help you target different promotions, product, services to a specific audience. And you'll see a better conversion ratio from that aspect as well. So, Jamal, you want to add anything as far as
Yeah, I
These
was
couple
I
steps.
wrote down a few notes, and one of the things that I'm really taking is I want people to understand is leveraging the networks of other people because a lot of our business comes from referrals. And if you get a lot of referrals, give me a one. You know, that's where I get most of my business from, is from referrals. So it'd be a great idea when you are getting people to subscribe, you can use those people also to get other people to subscribe as well, you know, by giving them an incentive. So I think that's a great way to do that is by leveraging the networks. And as far as the niche, everything that you and I think that you kind of put me on as far as different suppliers or different influencers or different thought leaders when it comes to our industry, everyone talks about the niche, the niche, the niche. And you know, to be honest with you guys, I'm not sure. You know, sometimes we'll book anything because, you know, a dollar attached to it. But then we get frustrated when when the wrong people don't book. So once you kind of narrow down your niche, which I haven't done by the way, it saves you a whole lot more time, and you can really target who opts in to what you actually specialize in. And as well with the email list, you also got to consider who owns that. Facebook doesn't own that list. Because if Facebook shut down tomorrow, we'll really be pulling our hair out. Um, Instagram doesn't own that list. You own that list. So that database goes with you wherever you go. And you also get to segment your audience, you know, where you know exactly what they want based upon, you know, how you, I'm not sure if Maurice is using this, but you could actually get their likes, dislikes by, you know, questionnaires, you know what I mean? So you know exactly what they like, so you know exactly what to send them and when to send it to them as far as frequency. That's all I want to add off the stuff I've written down so far.
Definitely, definitely some good points. Very good point that you do own this list, like I said, and you control it. So, I mean, you control from the management side of it all the way to as far as what content you actually expose these people to. So you control that. Tasha, did you want to add anything as far as email?
I just wanted to add, it's something that I found to be true, and Jamal touched on it just a little bit. But if any of the social media platforms went down, the email is something that people are going to gravitate to. A lot of people don't think or feel that email marketing is something that is really big because social media is there, but really and truly it is. The courses that I've been going through, they have been very, very big on pushing email marketing because that's one platform that we always go to. We're always checking our email, just like we're always checking social media. But when social media goes down, email is always still up.
And that's another thing, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we got a question too. We'll get to it. Romeo. I think that's Armor, right? That's Armor. His name is Romeo.
No. That's
Yo, that's me. It's Omar. I forgot to change it.
Oh no, you cool. You cool. Romeo cool. You know, ain't no wrong with it. I got it. So his question is, what provider do you use for email subscriptions, or is it add onto your web page?
so there are different actually resources or clients you can use. We're going to touch on a couple of them. Well, we're going to mention a couple tonight, and then over the next couple of weeks, we're going to actually, you know, do an in-depth look at them, because I think this is an opportune time to kind of build on that list and start sending out content. One, we have, in my opinion, we have more content out there available now, actually. When you think about, you know, the lives and different events and you know, a lot of different content that we can actually use to kind of build that loyalty factor with your clients. So yeah, we definitely go over that, Armar. Another aspect as far as why we should use email marketing is it enables two-way communication. So, me personally, I use my real address and like I said, we'll go over these details, how you can do these different things. But when I send out a newsletter, I email, so that way if they do reply, as far as feedback or anything like that, it comes directly to me and it seems more personable as far as that interaction. So it enables that two-way communication. It's not like a blanket email that you send out and then, if they have a question or if they're interested in anything, they don't know who to contact or reach out to. And then as well, on that aspect, you're going to have different calls to action on your newsletters and emails, whether it be links to your social media outlets, to your website if you have one, your phone number, your email address, different ways for them to actually contact you. So next is it enables you to track your effectiveness. So as far as the analytics, I think this is like the most important aspect of it, because you can actually track the performance. So let's say if I do a promo for the Very Merry Time Disney cruise in November, and I send it out to, a specific segment of my client base or my followers that are interested in family travel and cruises. Well, I can actually track, who opened the email, who clicked on a link in the email, who actually hit the unsubscribe button, who marked your content as spam. So you can actually focus on these different criteria and see, pretty much track your performance and see what's effective, what kind of promotions are effective, what's not. When you send out an email at a certain time or a certain day of the week, is it effective? Is the open rate or the click rate higher if I send it on a Tuesday as opposed to sending it on, let's say, a Wednesday morning? So you can really track the performance and the data to see what's working and what's not working for you. And I think that's one of the main components of using email marketing that can really help you grow your business and analyze the segments that you're working with. So next, it provides an easy way to share content. So, I have a lot of friends and followers who share my posts on Facebook and Twitter and different social media outlets, but there's still people out there who don't have social media or who don't log on to social media as much as, let's say, Tasha or Jamal, but, they do have social media, but they don't use it that much. So you still want to reach those people because they can share an email just like they can actually share a Facebook post or an Instagram post or a Twitter feed. They can hit they can share it on their social media outlet as well. So it does provide an easy way for people to share content. And just remember, a lot of these things, you don't want to focus on traffic. You want to focus on building this list. But when you build this list, automatically you're going to generate more traffic and more eyes on you and your brand. I'm going to go over this last one, then Jamal and Tasha, I'll see if you all want to add anything to it. It gives you the opportunity to promote products, events, and announcements. Again, we kind of touched on this as well. So if the email, you can send out a communication anytime you want, promoting a product, a service, anything you want to expose your audience to. So now you can think about how you can actually expand your business. If you want to sell merchandise, branded apparel, anything. If you want to promote a specific group trip that you have, or you want to promote a specific event by a vendor or a hotel or resort or a festival, now you can control what content, like we said before, that you actually send out, and you communicate it with your audience or these different segments that you kind of drill down on. Tasha, Jamal, y'all want to add anything to that?
Tasha, you want to go first or you want me to go?
You go ahead.
Well, just to piggyback off what Tasha said, a lot of things that we do listen to, the people who make the kind of money that we, desire to make, social media is cool, but they focus more on their list, and that list is capital. We hear it all the time, build a list, but anytime you have a business and you're getting ready to launch, your list is capital. I like that you can track effectiveness, because now, like Maurice says, you can see who's opening it, who's not opening it, what time they open it. And to give you a perfect example, Travel Joy, when someone opened that notification, to me, that's like, okay, they opened it. So just imagine being able to track that if you send out thousands of emails. When I mean thousands of emails, you send out 1,000, and you look at the open and close ratio. I'm not sure what the name of that is, but you can track that. Um, and I like to use Dan Chappelle's example where he said he sent out a bunch of emails, and only two people responded. But out of those two people, they booked over $500,000 worth of products. So it is effective. I know I haven't really tapped into this at all, but I do know, but based on those things that I have been hearing, you know, it's a market that we really don't talk about too much because we focus more on social media, and more social media, which is fine. But email marketing is really the untouched potential when it comes to what we do, because all of those, man, I can't think of their names right now, but it's all about the email. The email is the goal. And like you said, you can promote other things as well through that email once you have people that opt in. Like you said, you send stuff out and it enables you to have a two-way conversation. And now that person is interested in whatever you have. Our product is travel, but why not store a way to getting other things to create additional income if you did have branded products that you'll be able to give to your clients, even if it's not for a price, but it's a great way to brand yourself and get it in front of other people.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Tasha?
I think she said she was
I'm
good.
good. What you
Okay.
say, Jamal?
No, I was telling him that you said you was good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. My bad. So, yeah, definitely, man. You touched on some good key points there, and
And you think
so
about it.
that's.
Where do you get
Go ahead.
most of your content from? Where do you guys get most of your content from?
Social media.
Okay, you get yours from social media. Anyone else?
So I
And
guess
some
go ahead. Go ahead, Armand.
no, I was gonna say also from the vendor sites.
Vendor site. Anybody else?
So I was going to share. I'm one of those ones. I do a lot. I sit and read. So my email is the first place I go. I don't do a whole lot of posting on social media. Trying to get back into it, but email is where I've been, and that's where I've met a lot of customers, clients, and new business partners.
Well, I get about 60% of my content from email from sites like JetSetter. Um, what's the name of them? I was just looking at them. I can't think of the names, but I get all of that information and I go to the page and I'm like, oh man, I didn't know all this stuff was here, but I got it through email. Alyssa says YouTube, and I Travelista Keisha says she gets hers through travel. Did we lose you, Mo?
I'm here. No, I was
Oh,
looking at the responses there. So, let me ask you this. I want to ask everybody a question. If you can respond in the chat. Has anyone ever received an email from a brand or a store that you like or anything, let's say within the past 6 months, and your purchase was actually driven from an actual email that you've seen? Could have been, 60% off or some kind of President's Day sale or anything like that. Anyone purchase anything that was driven from an email receipt that you received from email marketing from one of the stores you like to shop at or a brand you like?
I didn't get an
Nobody?
email, but I got from Instagram. They DM me, and they've been stalking our pages and seeing if we're good fits. And then the correspondence went to email.
So it converted over to email, which is, like we said, more of a personal conversation when you have that email conversation.
Yep.
Elisa Coach Outlet just did her Martine Fanatics. Yes, okay, Martine again, yes. I mean, even if you don't, just think about it, even if you don't make a purchase, a lot of times we click on a link in that email and it drives us to, it's a call to action to that website, that social media page. or whatever they're promoting. If it's something, of course, if you're getting the email, maybe 70-80% of the time it's something that you were actually interested in and you want to keep up with. And a lot of times it does generate traffic. And like I mentioned before, we're not going to the traffic aspect of it tonight, but that's actually another stream of income when you think about generating traffic to your outlets and not just to social media. And that's if you have a website or anything like that, or a splash page. So we talked about why email marketing. Now we want to kind of move into how. So we're going to look at actually 7 different strategies which actually contribute to your growth as far as the email list. So before we do that, I want to, and we kind of mentioned this before a couple weeks ago, I just want to get a commitment from everybody. If you want to grow your business, especially now, I know a lot of people losing 80 to 90% of their bookings for the year because of what's going on in the pandemic. But a commitment to kind of try to, if you haven't already, to work on building your email list over the next week, actually, and try to start working on this subscriber list and see what we can kind of grow over the next, let's say, month or so, and see what kind of progress we can get. So is anybody committed to that with me or with us?
I'm committed. I'm working on my page now.
Yes, I'm committed.
All right. So we're going to follow up next week, and we're going to see, over the next couple of weeks, what kind of results we're getting. As far as building that list, if anybody sends out a newsletter or a campaign, what kind of traffic, and we can go down into the analytics and see what's working, what's not, and kind of have an open discussion about it. So we're going to talk about how. So first, of course, and we always talk about that, a couple of people already mentioned this already. You want to generate capturing content. So nobody's going to subscribe to anything that doesn't grab their attention, right? So we got to create quality content, and we got to lead them wanting more, to where every Tuesday when my travel tip email comes out, or my highlighted destination or whatever kind of campaign I'm running, that person's looking forward to that email. They're going to open it. They're going to interact. They're going to click. They're going to share. It's got to be content that's going to actually capture that person and leave them wanting more. And like I said, that's just building that loyalty with your brand. Next is you want to use a dedicated list subscription. So that's through the platforms that Armour, like MailChimp. I recently converted over from MailChimp to Flowdesk. I just like Flowdesk a lot better. So these are the different clients you can use to help use a dedicated subscription list. And with that list, you're going to have sign-up forms. So everybody doesn't have a website, but everybody, a lot of us do have, let's say, business pages on Facebook, Instagram. So with your website, you want to have your opt-in, or, you go to a website, you put in your email address and information. You want that information to be visible. Same thing with your Facebook and Instagram. When you include your contact information or any kind of opt-in information, it's always going to be visible, usually towards the header of the page, because usually when people start scrolling down, they kind of lose interest. And we'll talk about bounce rates and things like that in the coming weeks. So Jamal, Tasha, anybody want to add anything as far as email sign? Anybody using an opt-in or email campaign right now?
I'm using MailChimp.
MailChimp? And that's via a website or social media?
So I have my social media page linked to it, but what I'm doing now is building my landing page. So when they go to the website, the very first thing they do or they receive is the option to enter their email address in.
Gotcha. And I know this may sound foreign to a lot of people, but we promise we're going to go into more detail about it. But basically, so if someone enters their email address, Tasha, on your Facebook, or let's say on your website or landing page, all that information goes to the same place, right? And you can actually pull that information that they actually entered in, almost like a CRM.
Yes.
Gotcha. So people, it really helps you work more efficiently as well. And I'm telling you, if you have a large email subscriber list, it's like having gold. because some people actually pay for email lists. Offer an incentive for subscribing. Oh, sorry about that. So a lot of different ways you can get creative with this. You know, even when you think about collaboration, giveaways, even, you know, the fact of that they'll have access to insider travel tips and news. It's like, you know, people think that you're giving them something for free. So instead of just saying, hey, sign up for my newsletter, now sign up for my newsletter and you'll receive the latest in travel tips, reviews, and exclusive content. That sounds more appealing for someone to actually provide that information and opt in rather than just a general statement. Anyone else have any incentives, offerings, promos, anything you've used for email?
I think a one-on-one consultation, something free to kind of get them in front of you would be something good to use.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
So a free one-on-one
complimentary.
consultation.
Yeah, complimentary. You
That's a
did
good one.
mention generating, capturing content, and something you said earlier. There's so much content out there that you can use. So I just say everybody take advantage of it, you know, really take advantage of it. It's a lot of stuff.
Definitely. Next, design a branded email template. So me personally, I wanted the branding of my, I have a blog site, so I wanted that branding to actually match. Over my social media, over my email campaigns, just everything's streamlined pretty much. So then people share things with their friends, their followers, and like I said, you tapping into that network, you leveraging their network. So the main thing is quality. Everything you do represents your brand. So if you're sending out a newsletter, you know, how is it formatted? How does the quality look? Even down to the quality of your logo. Even down, and we've discussed this before, what kind of email address do you have? Is it a professional email address? You know, that first impression, this may be this person's first impression of your brand, first time seeing your brand. So that goes a long way. If it's not quality, if it doesn't look professional, then you may get an opt-out or someone that's going to unsubscribe or unfollow you actually. So I can't stress enough how important quality is. A lot of these email clients have pre-built templates that you can actually use that are very professional. That's one of the things that really attracted me to Flodesk, just the quality of the actual templates that they have that are pre-made. Some people do spend money and work with a graphic designer to actually design email templates for them. That coincides with the design of their website or the color scheme of their brand and things like that. But definitely important that design is really branded. As far as your logo, color scheme, and things like that. I know, Tasha, you have expertise in that. Do you want to add anything as far as, you know, streamlining as far as the branding?
I heard the last part of the question. Say the first part again.
As far as branding and streamlining, you know, as far as, you know, when you talk about templates for email, color scheme, logos, things like that, as far as importance of really a high quality professional look.
I would suggest working with a graphic designer because you want everything to be uniform. You want everything to look crisp and clean. You have some individuals that feel that, they've taken one course in being how to become a graphic designer, and they know what they're talking about or feel they do. But you want someone that is experienced, that has that will take time and do the research that needs to be done to provide you with the colors that will attract your clients, and that it looks professional. It doesn't look like something that you just went on Google and acquired, or somebody just threw together. So that is something that is really and truly important, is making sure that there's consistency across your brand with your colors, with your fonts, and things of that nature. So even though it can be pricey when it comes to working with a graphic designer, but you kind of have to give a little to get a little. You are investing in your business to generate additional income.
Good stuff. I think as well with some of these things, even if you are capable of doing it, when you out, use someone else to actually take care of those tasks for you, you can focus more, especially during this time, you can focus more on administrative things that have kind of been lingering or things that you need closure in, rather than spending time trying to design an email template when you can be working on something else. So, I mean, it just depends on your level of expertise and really the quality that you want. But if you can, just to save time and headache, and just have someone that has experience, like Tasha said, some things it is good to kind of reach out to a professional to take care of for you. Let's see, we got a couple questions. April, why do you like it better? So me personally, like I said, it's just, to me, it's more user-friendly through Flowdesk. No, I'm not knocking MailChimp. I use MailChimp for over 6 years, and I love MailChimp as well. But I just like the templates and the design aspect of Flowdesk better. Keisha, Infusionsoft, and JotForm. So JotForm actually, she can create a form and they input their information in that form, and it automatically transfers that information that the person enters over to MailChimp into whatever segment that you want it to actually go to. So like I said, these clients do a lot of the email clients do a lot of the work for you. All right. So next, follow up with your subscribers. So me personally, I use an autoresponder. When someone opts in and sends a welcome email, as well, after a few weeks, follow up with them, thanking them for subscribing and inviting them to go to my blog site or check out, highlighted or featured content. And like I said, you can really drill down on different segments. You can have one is travel clients, one is potential clients, one is people who've opted in on your website. Different segments you can actually drill down on. Jamal, Tasha, you want to add anything?
Well, I will say, just the things you just added, it seems like this will be more automated for people, so you'll be able to kind of free yourself of just the daily monotony of whatever else you got to do if your business is on automation.
Yeah, automation is, man, saves a lot of time, a lot of time. When you think about automation, even going down to when you post on social media, as far as automation. But you want to remind your followers to sign up and opt in, especially now everybody's online. So just think of how many email addresses or email subscribers you can actually pick up over the next week or over the next 2 weeks. So question is, and we've gone over the relationship marketing model numerous times, is really, are you ready? So you want to have a target audience. You work on that relationship building. That's through your email marketing and different marketing and promos that you do. And then the ultimate goal is, like we said at the beginning, for marketing, is acquire new customers and to convert those leads, convert those people that we attract to clients, to customers. And that's our ultimate goal. So just wanted to touch on that first before we actually show you the different email clients, which we'll start on next week, because I think we kind of need to know the basis as far as why it's important to use email marketing and how it can actually be effective for your business, especially now when people aren't really booking travel, but we still have an opportunity during this time frame to build that relationship, build that loyalty with people, so that way when the time comes, we're ready to go ahead and convert them over to clients. So any questions, anybody want to add anything, any experience with email marketing, even from a consumer standpoint, any experience with email marketing that you want to share?
Hello, everybody. My name is Debbie. Actually have gotten a lot of my last few bookings or people inquiries from email marketing. I send out every Monday an email through MailChimp, And, like anybody that I see, if I see somebody I've known, for a while, hey, how you doing? I ask them, listen, can I get your email? I'm a travel agent. I give them my card and I told them I want to put them on my list and they give it to me. So I built my list up pretty strong. I have like about 500 plus lists. And I get inquiries, people, oh, really? If I'm promoting cruises and that sort of thing, like I had this little thing, Tuesday is cruise day and all these little things that I was promoting. And I definitely got a lot of feedback from that. Like people, again, that I haven't seen in a long time that I don't really see on a regular basis. And this is really the only way that we keep up. So I also send little things like not always promotion, sometimes just at one point we had the certificates, the vacation certificates. So I would send little quizzes. If you get it right, the first 3 people to send it back and get it right would get the vacation certificate and things of that nature. But the point of it all is that I definitely found that the email marketing worked for me.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks for sharing. That was Debbie, right?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Debbie. Debbie, do you have a website?
I do.
Okay, so as far as your for MailChimp, as far as tracking like the data analytics, has that been helpful as far as seeing what works for your email, what doesn't work, how much traffic you're actually getting to your website?
Yes, it does. Because on both sides, I have the analytics. I have the analytics to the actual website to see who's clicking through. And most of the people I found that actually open it will click through on some of the links. People that actually open it. Now, sometimes getting people to open it is a thing too. So that's why when I talk to people, I always make sure to try to get them to look out for it. Because, a lot of things, especially if people have Yahoo emails, it's going to go into spam. But yes, I have found the analytics very helpful on my side. Plus, I also have a domain name, so the analytics there too. So I have kind of like a 3-layer analytics thing where I can see what's being clicked through and that sort of thing.
Gotcha. So you use like Google Analytics to track the performance of the website.
Well, the actual place that I do the website for, they do it. They send me something every month. They send me an email every month telling me how the website is doing and that sort of thing. And then,
as far as your traffic.
Yes, and then the MailChimp, of course, they give me the reports from MailChimp. And then Yahoo, I'm sorry, that's telling me about another webinar. Yahoo, who is where my domain name is, also gives me analytics about people clicking through the domain name, which is connected to my website.
Awesome, good stuff. So everybody, just think about that. She sends out a weekly newsletter. You send out themed content as far as cruise day or whatnot. Promotions as far as a travel certificate or something you can give away. So
I
all
haven't
those
had
things,
those in a while, but yeah, I used to have that. Yeah.
As far as I got you. As far as a certificate.
Another thing I do is I'll say, like, I send it out on Monday. So with Tuesday being cruise day, if I'm going to debut a cruise that week, I send it out and say, you people see this first. So nobody can go to my website and click on the page. The page is only accessible from the email that they're getting from me. So if somebody goes to my website, they're not going to see that page. You can only click it if you got the link from my email. So it's like, you're getting this preview because you are a special client, that sort of thing.
There you go. So added value, you get, access to exclusive content that nobody else will have access to yet. So, I mean, you touched on everything that we've pretty much kind of discussed tonight, and it's working for you. You've had conversions for it. So, I mean, everybody, email marketing is, and it can seem tedious because, it can seem intimidating, actually, as far as when you first, are introduced to it or when you think about it. But with the automation and everything, even like Debbie just discussed as far as the analytics, it's well worth to put in that initial, literally maybe couple hours to set everything up and just watch everything work for you. And I mean, you can get as detailed as you want as far as what newsletters you send out, what content you send out. It just depends on what kind of goals you're trying to achieve with email marketing. Anyone else want to share anything? Do we have any questions or Still got about 10 more minutes, 8 more minutes.
Now, look like we don't have any questions, Maurice.
No questions. So next Thursday, and I'm gonna put it in the chat section here. We'll go over Flowdesk, and then the following week, or if we have time next week, actually we'll see if we can do MailChimp as well, and show some examples. And I'm going to type those in the chat section here for those of you who aren't familiar with them. And what I encourage you to do is to go ahead and sign up, take a look at it, start setting up your accounts. There's a free account. There's a paid version as well. With Flowdesk, they do have, I think it's a promo for 50% off for Flowdesk for, it may be up to 6 weeks. So it comes down to like $17.99 a month. But when you think about the potential as far as what it can do for your business, you know, it's one of those expenses. We always say you have to invest in your business, so it's definitely well worth it. You know, with the type of things you can actually accomplish by using email marketing. So that's Flowdesk, that's MailChimp. Those aren't the only ones. You know, if anybody else has any they actually use or prefer to use, then feel free to share here. But we really want to kind of dive deep into this and see what kind of results we get from everybody to see if it helps grow your business. And I just put them in the chat. Of course, both have apps that you can download. I don't know if Android is up to par as far as the app aspect. Definitely on the iPhone, you can download the app, or you can go to the website on your desktop or your tablet. But both are mobile friendly, and you can actually track performance.
I believe Android is up to the task.
What? Who is that?
I think somebody's watching Black Panther or something. I think of Black Panther.
Oh no. That's exactly who you think it is.
No, I doubt it.
No, it is. I'm looking.
But email marketing.
Hey.
Email marketing is, I can't stress enough how, I mean, events, promos, just building that list is so important. And I kind of got away from it from myself. You know, I had a blog before. I use it heavily, and so much success by using it. So it's something I kind of recommitted myself to as far as rebuilding my list. Like I said, especially during this time when we have, you know, downtime, we're not doing as much booking. So now, as far as building that list, just think when you have that list, anything that you do as far as your brand, now you have access. So Debbie now has 500 contacts that she owns that she's going to always have access to because they opted into it. So anything she wants to sell, any promo, anything related to her brand, she can control how she feeds it to these people, and nobody else has access to it. So I really can't stress how important that is. So like I said, my challenge over the next week, actually over the next month, is for us to build these lists, get creative, come up with different campaigns, promos. You can do giveaways, collaborate with different vendors, tourism boards, hotels, resorts, different, you know, other small businesses you can collaborate with. I'm pretty sure right about now a lot of people will be open to that. You know, so many things you can do to kind of help grow that list. So anybody want to add anything before we close out in the next 3 minutes and 38 seconds? Ooh, everybody's good on email? See, we got some questions here.
I want to add, whenever you're searching for an email marketing platform, make sure you read the features to see which one would cater to your business and the goal that you're trying to acquire.
Good stuff. All right, if no more questions, we'll close out. Jamal, you want to add anything?
No, man, good stuff. You know, I got a lot to learn when it comes to email marketing, because everything I've listened to over the last 2 weeks, it was all about the email. You know, Facebook is more, in their eyes, is more the presence, but the email is more the effectiveness of getting to the goal that you want to get when it comes to acquiring business.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's really how you know, that's where that conversion really comes in.
Yeah.
Like Debbie mentioned, as far as the email, you know, we attract them through social media, everything that looks good, visual, and then, you know, overall goal is to convert them and to convert that lead into actual business and tap into their network. So it's good stuff. So next Thursday, 8 o'clock, we'll go over Flowdesk and MailChimp. Like I said, if you can between now and then, go ahead and sign up. And oh yeah, she said she's sending emails on holidays and birthdays. That's a good one too. And you know, and we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. I'm sorry, I know we're short on time, but if you do go ahead and sign up. You know, one of the first emails that I would suggest you send out is some kind of communication to your clients as far as, you know, what's going on right now, some kind of supportive message to kind of, you know, get people lifted during this time. So, you know, that would be a good first email communication to kind of send out to the base list that you actually have. So next Thursday, 8 o'clock, we'll see everybody, and we'll post a recording soon. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.